Okay, here's a series of videos that I'm going to make. This is the first one. And my aim is to find out who makes the best German Pilsner. And that's only going to be those who are available to me. So we've got Paulaner German Pilsner 4.8 ABV and a Krombacher, also 4.8 ABV. Both of these are available locally to me. Some others are Bitburger and Weihenstephaner. What else? There are a few more. And I'm not going to do a tournament. I'm going to do a round robin. So we'll see how that works out. So that means every beer that I test is going to go up against every other one. Now, for the Paulaner, I'll pour it nice and slow so it doesn't lose any carbonation, because I do believe that can affect the taste. Now, I don't know why, but Pilsners seem to have lower ABVs than their European lager counterparts in many cases, or at least especially compared to Munich Hell. For instance, Weihenstephaner, its Pilsner is 4.8 or 4.9, but its Hell is a 5.0. And I've noticed that. I think I did a comparison between Krombacher Pilsner and the lager, or the Hell, and the Pilsner was lower ABV. I guess that's a byproduct of how they're made. I don't know. But what I do know about Pilsners, they originated in Pilsen, which is a part of the Czech Republic. And in the German-speaking language, Pilsen with an ER on the end, means from that area, like a Berliner. You're of Berlin or from Berlin. Weihenstephaner is of or from Weihenstephan. Paulaner is of or from the Paulaner brewery, the monks. Paulaner is the oldest brewery in Munich, started by monks, of course. Now, I don't know if I poured the Krombacher faster, but it does have a bit more bubbles of carbonation coming up in here, and more of a head, which is going to make this difficult because I'm going to feel that head on my lip. I'm going to do this blindfolded, or not blindfolded, mix these beers up so I don't know which is which. And I'm going to have to close my eyes because I can see the difference between the two. Now, I don't know if it's a light or what, but the Krombacher appears to be a bit darker. That's another thing. Pilsners are a tad bit darker than their lager or Hell counterparts. At least in my experience, I've noticed that in some cases. Maybe not all. A lot of lagers they call Pilsners, but they're not really Pilsners. Like Miller Lite. That's not a Pilsner. All right. Well, hell. Look at that. Look at that head. That head is growing. I'm not going to be able to do this blindfolded or blind to which beer is which. So I'm just going to go ahead and taste them, see which one I like better. I'll start with small sips. Wow. That's got some hoppiness to it. Hoppiness kind of like an IPA. You know, it's just slight citrusy flavor. It's actually pretty good. Maybe just a tad bit dry on the finish. Some bitterness in there in that finish. But that upfront hoppiness, pretty good. Really good. That, I believe, is what a Pilsner should taste like. Or at least German Pilsner, you know. original Pilsners from Pilsen, such as Pilsner Locale and Budvar, Czechvar. Those are original Pilsners. They don't have the same kind of hoppiness as this Paulaner does. The flavor of the Paulaner, I like it better. Although this does have a wetter finish. And this one doesn't taste very carbonated, even though we've got a lot of carbonation present in the glass that you can see. It almost tastes flat, but well, I guess, the carbonation is about the same, really. But of course, the more bubbles come up, the more carbonation is being lost. So these beers are going flat before our very eyes. And that's why, you leave a beer sitting out for a while and you come back to it and it's pretty flat. I don't like flat beers. I think the Paulaner has quite a bit more flavor to it than the Krombacher. It's just really the hops on this stand out on the Paulaner. This is actually pretty good. I like it. I like it better. And that's the thing, with beer. You go out to a bar and you get a beer, even something like Miller Genuine Draft or Budweiser. You drink it, and you think, hey, it's not bad, tastes all right. But you really don't know what you're missing when you set it side by side with another beer, a much better beer, like Hofbräu. So you do Miller and Hofbräu, do a side-by-side taste test, and you can really taste, the differences really become apparent. And, if I was to drink either one of these beers just by themselves, I would probably like them both and think, they're both pretty good. But here, side by side, that's where you really notice differences. That's where you can pick things out. At least that's been my experience. Well, I tell you, if I had to dump one of these out and only drink the other one, I would dump out the Krombacher and drink the Paulaner. I didn't like Paulaner's München Hale too much. For some reason, I bought some of that and did it in my 32 beer triple elimination bracket, and it didn't do very well. It lost almost every time, surprisingly, because I thought the Paulaner Munich Hales would be up there with Hofbrau and maybe Spaten. I also wanted to do Spaten in that test, but I couldn't get it at the store that day or during the time that I was doing the bracket. I don't know if it's seasonal or what, but it just wasn't there. So, and I went to several different package stores, big ones. Usually it's Total Wine and more, but it wasn't. So I had to exclude it from the test and put something else in. Another problem I had during that bracket was Michelob stopped being available. And so it had to forfeit because I went back to the store to get some more Michelob and try it against its next competitor, which was Sam Smith's pure organic lager, and I couldn't find any Michelob. I went to 4 or 5 different package stores and I couldn't find it anywhere. Is it seasonal or what? But I don't know. But Michelob probably would have lost because it wasn't. It didn't do as well as I thought. I think it lost in the first round, or maybe I don't know. But it was eliminated pretty early. Maybe only won once, twice. I can't remember. Okay, I'm giving this one to Paulaner. And I don't know who's going to be up next. I'll have to go to the store and get another beer. And maybe it'll be Bitburger. I don't know. Whatever they have. Oh, I did see another beer, another Pilsner there, a German Pilsner. That was almost $20 for a 6-pack. And I wanted to get that, but so I'll save it for later. And start off with these cheap ones. I mean, these are 4 packs of these, almost 16-ounce cans. It's what is this? What size are these? Damn it, they have it in U.S. common units. 1 pint, not 0.9 ounces, so it's a little bit more than a pint. For a 4-pack of these is $10. Same with this one. I wonder if it says on here how many milliliters this is. 500. Yeah, there you go. 500 milliliters. So 500 is 2,000 milliliters for, or 2 liters for $10 of both of these. So Paulaner gets the first win. Thanks for watching.